There's nobody there. Okay, folks. Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that's my name. Down and out, that's my situation. Homeless, a tramp. In Torrevieja, that's a town in the southeast coast of Spain. Anybody come in? I'm a little bit late, 5 or 10 minutes late, so maybe you've been here and left me already. Maybe you abandoned me and thought I wasn't coming back. I'm here. I don't think we're going to leave this one live afterwards. A little bit short notice. A little bit. Let's try this. Here's Tina. You gotta have traditions, folks. You gotta have traditions. Here's Tina. Here's my Tina doggy darling. If you know anything about this channel, you know we have traditions. And there's one. There she is. Now, it's dark. I've literally just crawled into bed. Let's turn this back around so that you're not just looking at the light. Here I am. Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? I know I'm late. I was just feeding the dog. I forgot. And because I didn't really feed her yesterday, I had to... I had to today. I couldn't just leave it another night. She probably would have been okay, but that's not what you do. Anybody out there? Do you want to say hello? Introduce yourself. Chat's open for everybody as far as I know. It's not a subscriber chat, it's an anybody chat. Say hello if you're out there. Oh, the glasses are falling off. And you'll be able to see why. I'll show you in a minute. Oh. Yeah. There's only one arm. There's only one stalk on the glasses. They're balancing precariously. And probably rather badly. And I'm, as you've already seen, I'm filming in the dark on with a battery-powered light shining at me. So it's all a bit precarious. It's all a little bit ad hoc. I'm a tramp living in a field in a country where I don't speak the fucking language. What were you expecting? But it's Friday night. I just got into bed because as soon as it goes dark, what else is there to do? But cheers to those of you who choose to join me. But say hello. Type something in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions. What kind of week have we had? Are you my subscribers or are you new here? If you're new and you've got questions, hey, tell me why the hell you clicked. Why are you talking to it? Why are you watching a tramp who lives in a field in Spain? I'm intrigued. So's my girl. Oh, this screen is just not working. There it is. Nope. Oh, twice. My girl's intrigued as well, aren't you, Tina girl? Ask the nice people. Ask them what the hell they're doing here. There's just me and my girl in a broken tent. Let's get the camera back to me. Where it belongs. On the good looking one. Where's best? How far away do you want the camera? Can you still hear me if it's that far away? Nobody's talking. Yeah, a bunch of lurkers. Well, hello anyway, lurkers. just a random chat with a random tramp in a random country. Hello to all of you. Whoa, the numbers are going up. 3, 4, okay. Hi folks, hello. Hey Jan. Hello my friend, and thank you for the beer money the other week. Okay. We're slowly rolling in. We're slowly rolling in. This was a bit of a random late one. I didn't really announce it. It is truly random. As things were going dark, well, I just went to the shop. So let me explain. Friday nights, I always sit down and make a decision. Do I need anything? Do I need it badly enough that I've got to go and get it like right here, right now? Is it getting cold at the beach? No, I wouldn't say cold. It's not as warm as it has been. When you're in the sun, you're fine. Hey, Anita, hello. You're all alone at home at the minute, yeah? Your sister's gone home. So to answer Jan's question, when you're in the shade, you can feel that it's not as warm as it was. When you're in the sun, you don't really notice a difference. But in the shade, you can tell it's not what it was. And as soon as the sun goes down at night, you can feel the difference. You can feel the difference as soon as the sun goes down. Anita, can you see? I'm sorry. I've lost an arm off your glasses. Well, I haven't lost it. It's... Where are we? Oh, it's... Bloody thing, it's right here. Here it is. No, it's not. That's the screwdriver. Where's the actual arm of the bloody glasses? Oh! Really? Well, that's annoying. Okay. The arm off the sunglasses has been on my bedside table for the last day and a half. And just as I tried to show somebody, it's not here. Bloody thing. I spent 2 hours trying with a tiny screwdriver, trying to screw the little screw back through the little hole. It's not broken. It is definitely not broken. It's just come unscrewed from the arm being open, closed. But I don't know. I need my eyesight to zero in on the tiny little screw, and without my glasses, see the irony. I need my glasses to see properly to fix my glasses. So without my glasses, I can't see well enough to fix the glasses. I know I've got a second pair here somewhere. Fuck off! I got something nudging against the tent outside. I know I've still got another pair, Anita. I know that they're here in a bag inside my tent somewhere. I just need to. It's one of my projects for tomorrow, to dig out the other pair and have a go. Fuck you! Go away! Go! The cheek of it! It's literally rustling against the outside of the tent right now. Go away! If I have to come out there, there'll be fucking trouble. I got something behind me and I got something ahead of me. I'm hoping it's cats or birds. But it's... Yeah, Tina wants to go get them. Tina wants... No, sit down, darling. Sit down. Sit down for now. I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when you can go and eat a rat. It's okay. So yeah, here we are, trying to have a conversation, and we got rodents either side of the tent, I think. Probably. I mean, like I said, it could be cats, but it's not. It's you hope it's cats, it's just not. Oi! Fuck you, go away! The problem is, if I send Tina out, she'll be dragging that log behind her and causing damage to the campsite. So any kind of... They've left us alone for the last week, more or less. Until... Did you see the cookery video I just put out today? So I think on... I don't know, was it Sunday or Monday? I heard something in a bush and I got a big piece of wood and started stabbing into the bush. And frightened the bugger away. Frightened it away. And it left us alone until... I think last night. I think I heard something maybe the night before, but it didn't bother us. And now all of a sudden I've got something at this side of the tent and at that side of the tent. And what are we on? It's like, I'm not even sure. Give me a second. What is it, 8:45? 10 to 9. 20:50. I don't know, folks. But it's not going away. Oh, it's very dark. Yeah, it's totally dark out here. Yeah, it's it gets dark now at somewhere around 7:45. Well, what was that about tree rats? I don't like the sound of that. Seeing tree rats at the beach in Malaga. We got a fairly big one here the other week that I think Tina killed, but I don't know. I know that a few days before that she had an injury to her ear, and I was kind of hoping that. Oh, look at this! Try to keep my glasses on with only one arm on the glasses. Tina had an injury on her ear, and I was hoping it was just from rustling around under trees and bushes where she goes. But she could well. She spends like half the night outside the tent, so she could have been fighting rats or probably rats. The mice look little and cute. I don't see them attacking her. But if she was to fall asleep outside, I could see a rat coming and biting on her ear, messing about with her or attacking her. I could see that happening because they're little. They're cheeky. But I told you in one of the videos I mentioned how 10 times in one night I had to chase this one rat out of here. 10 times in one night. Like every time it made a noise, I'd chase it out. And as soon as I came back in here, it was rustling through there again. 10? What kind of animal doesn't take the hint? After 3, 4, 5... What's it doing coming back for 10 attempts? No idea. Sorry about these glasses, folks. They're just... It's not like anyone's chatting anyway, so I maybe don't even... Maybe I'll keep them off and only put them on when something crops up on the screen. Oh, but look, but the eye's off. Can you see how... That's tiredness. My eyes should both face forwards. When one's off like that, that's a sign that I've been awake half the night or more. And yet last night, I thought I slept quite well, but it wasn't an enjoyable night. For me, an enjoyable night is where I fall asleep somewhere between 12 and 2, and then I wake up somewhere between 4 and 5, and I'm awake for an hour or two, and then I fall asleep again for 1 or 2 hours. And that couple of hours in the night, that's my favourite time of the day. Somewhere between 3 and 6, having a couple of hours awake. There's nothing else going on in the world. It's just me. I can watch a movie or watch a YouTube video, download something. I just do what I want in peace. There's no one else around. I'm not doing anything. It's not sweltering hot in here. It's just... That's my time. That middle... They used to talk about, I don't know if you ever look back, if you ever read anything about history, they used to talk about the second sleep and how you would have a first sleep and then like the whole family would like get up in the middle of the night, one by one. You didn't wake each other up or anything, but whoever woke up would get up and get a hot glass of milk or you know, do whatever they needed to do. And then sit around for half an hour, hour and a half, and then go back to bed afterwards. And I have that same, I've always had that same kind of pattern. So yeah, favourite time of the day is that middle of the night. Sooner or later, they're going to bite their way in to my bedroom. They're no respecters of plastics, and you know, they used to, when I was under just under a tarpaulin, when my shelter was 6 broom handles and a tarpaulin and maybe a couple of branches formed into an arch to lift the roof up. They used to bite their way through plastic bags and some plastic containers even. So now my outside tent, the outside skin of the tent's got these rips and these holes in it. But as far as I know, the inside shell, the inside bedroom, I think is intact for now. But that's only a matter of time, isn't it? If they sense there's something going on in here, and I have got food stored in here, it's only a matter of time before they get brave and start biting their way in here and sneaking around. Now that I'm on a bed and I'm raised up and there are areas that I can't actually get to, they could in theory run around under here and I'd just be sitting looking at them. It's one of the reasons that that I need more mouse traps and rat traps. The only rat trap I had exploded a couple of weeks ago. It had been set for so long, and it was just Chinesium, that the spring tension had pulled the staples out of the wood and the whole thing just and kind of exploded. So mouse traps. And I was just, to be honest, I was just at the Chino Bazaar. I could have bought more, but I just spent more in Mercadona than I'd intended. I think this is the second week on the trot. So I was saying before that on a Friday night I make a decision as to whether there's anything I need or not, and whether it can wait. And I try and make it wait until the next week if I can. But again, I drew up a list of shopping and it was €10 más o menos, €10 plus or minus. And so I took a 20 again, just because flexibility. You don't want to be standing there and it's come to 10.50 and you've only brought a 10. But because I had the 20, I did there was 50-50 decisions that should I buy some potatoes now or not? If I bought the potatoes, should I get the carrots? Well, I've run out of onions. Should I get? And I ended up getting potatoes, carrots, onions, peppers, standard peppers, bell peppers, capsicums. Those weren't on the list to get in the first place. My 9, 10, 11 euros initial shopping list didn't include any of that. Somehow I bought them anyway. Can't explain why. The money was in my pocket, burning a hole in my pocket, I guess. I guess that's what it was. I mean, they're a staple product. They're something most of my recipes, if you watch my cooking videos, you'll see that, 90% of my cooking involves 2 or 3 of those ingredients: potatoes, onions, carrots, or bell peppers. Pair those with either a tomato or a cream sauce, and you're 90% towards whatever I'm cooking. I'm a simple guy of limited means and limited taste. I'm not I'm not a fancy eater. I'm not a fancy eater. So I'm not a fancy shopper. So, yeah. Went out, spent more than I should have there, which meant that then when I went to the Chinese bazaar, and I only went for batteries for this light that's on now, for that light there, the one that's lighting my face in the tent. I went for batteries for that. A 10-pack costs €2.50. And I wanted to go on the way home from Mercadona, but I didn't have €2.50 left. I should have had €10 left. I don't know. I don't know, folks. That's 2 weeks on the trot that I've done that. Gone out intending to spend... See, for me, €10 per week is extravagant. Historically, most weeks I would be spending €5 or less. I mean, most weeks, used to be most weeks, I didn't go shopping at all. I was scavenging food from alongside bins and sometimes inside bins. So I'm kind of, I feel like I'm in a luxury position, but I also feel like I'm abusing the luxury. I feel like sometimes I'm kind of abusing your trust. Those of you that supported me financially. If you've given me money and I've gone out thinking I'll spend €5 or €10 and I spend 20, I mean, what the hell? Or almost 20. Why have I not got enough money? If I leave here with 20 and intending to spend 10, why have I not got enough left to spend two and a half on a set of batteries once a month? That's just crazy. I don't know if Jan's still here, but thanks to Jan for the beer money. Thank you. The weekend starts here, folks. Friday night. Let's see if anybody said anything and YouTube just didn't show it. Oh, I can't even read. Look at that. Don't you have a lamp? This is the lamp. I got that one. Or, do you want to watch this? Let me make sure I know whether... Okay, it's there. It's within reach. Let me turn this off. Oh, it's not just off. It has to go off, off. Here. This one... This one's a real deal. This one's maybe too bright. I don't know whether that's working for you. Is that too bright? It's too bright for me to look at. This one lights up the whole tent. When that one's on, the whole tent shines and they can see me on the main road. And then the police start driving by in the middle of the night. That one's not... that one's not ideal. Not if I want to keep a low profile. Having my big dome tent just gleaming out to the world. Yeah, look, there's a car out here now. It's stopped on the little track on the little road. They probably think a UFO's landed in the middle of the field. Let me put that one back. That one's... Oh, where's the on-off button now? Okay. I'll be back within a second, don't panic. Here we go. Here we go. So that other light, the big light that was just on there, that's the solar pack that Mark and Jeff gave me. The two guys. You remember when my solar panels were losing the outer surface? My foldable portable solar panel was losing the outer surface and wasn't working properly. Hey guys, just a quick plea for help. If you could hit the thumbs up. We've got a few people in here, but we've only got one thumbs up. A thumbs up is a signal to YouTube that you know that you like me, that this is worth watching. Help a guy out. Just click the like button if you like. I mean, I'm not telling you. I'm not forcing you, but it's a hint, a suggestion maybe. But yeah, when my solar panel was flaking and losing its ability, and I was panicking I was going to be without power, Mark got in touch and offered me a this kind of self-contained battery box with a small solar panel, a solar controller, a solar charge controller, and a light bulb, and a USB. Here's another. Let's have a look. You see this cable? This is charging my phone at the minute from the same thing that powered that light. This is my main power source now. I'm lucky. My portable solar panel is now relegated to an adjunct, a reserve, a backup. Only once has this power run out in the, is it 3 months? It must be 3 months at least. In the 3 months I've been using it, it's only run out of power once, and that's, I turned the light on. We'd not had a very sunny day. I think for a couple of days it had not been too sunny. And I put that light on for about an hour one night. And that was the only time it's ever run out on me. And luckily I've got this other little power bank that I charge from here we go. I got this power bank from a lady called Una and Dominic brought me that around the same time when I said I was struggling for power. They brought me that. Oh, pillows. Sorry folks, not the best camera work, I know. When I wriggled about, my pillows came from behind my back and I suddenly was unsupported. But they brought me that power bank because my 3 power banks all stopped working after various floods. Yeah. Fortunately, it looks like we don't get floods anymore in this field. Thanks to the work that was done last, I think it was December. I think that was just after you went home, Anita. Or it might have been after Tina went home. Last year. I woke up one morning and in my, do you want to call this my front garden or my back garden? There was a big bulldozer working away. And I was really concerned about how far this thing was going to travel doing its thing. So in my best Spanish, I had to go and ask the workmen, like, what's going on? How big an area are you working in? You know, are you going to come and plough my tent? Are you here to evict me? But no, they were just flattening land further up and creating a trench to channel floodwater away. But that means this year, all the vegetation in this field is now struggling for water. The vegetation here is used to being knee-deep in water between 2 and 6 times a year, I guess, over in the run-up to peak winter. So it's the late autumn and early spring when they get the most rain. And this field would be between ankle and knee-deep 6 times a year, roughly, plus or minus, más o menos. But the last year, since that last time when I went to Anita's house, which was November the 11th, when she gave me the glasses and a couple of sweatshirts and some jog pants and a blanket, which is part of my bed. I'll be laying on that. I can't show it you too easily. But I am using it, Anita, I promise. Everything you've given me is of value and is being used. But ever since then, when that was the last flood. So I was flooded here on my first day, and here's one. October. What's the date now? October the 10th last year was my first day in this field. Today's the 6th. This is Friday, so 7, 8, 9, 10. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday will mark 1 year in this field. That's got to be worth something. I think we'll do a live stream on Tuesday. I haven't really got anything to say or do, but you know, I didn't have anything to say now. And I'm managing to wing it a little bit. Maybe I'll have my glasses fixed by then. Or maybe I'll just switch to the other pair. You see there's no... I don't know, folks. I'll make this shit up as I'm going. No more questions. Let's ask you. What kind of week have you all had? Good, bad, indifferent? How are we doing? You guys are gonna have to get quicker at typing. You can't just leave me hanging like this. Come on. There's 4 of you out there. It's only 4. But one of you can tell me what kind of week you've had. Mine's not been too great. Let me start here. I'll tell you about my week. I thought my court case was this week. Let's start there. And I spent until Wednesday bricking myself. Literally scared that this week was my... I should save this... Are we back? Anita's had a good week. Can you see me again? I'm back. Apparently I was disconnected there for 3 or 4 seconds. Buffering. Okay, Jan. I'm here again. I'm here again, amigo. Let me know that you can see me. Hating again. Good cuddle. Waiting for the people to talk back. Okay, I'm back. So, I literally thought Wednesday was going to be my court case. Charlie, is that Charlie Sparkies or Charlie Sparkles? That's my eyesight. Sorry, I'm not good on the... I'm going to say Sparkles. What's the plan for the winter? Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm in a much better position this year than I was last. I'll tell you that now. At this point last year, I didn't have a roof over my head. I was in this field with... God, at this point last year, I didn't even have a tarp. I didn't even have a tarpaulin. I didn't even have a big plastic sheet. This point last year, I had a one of those sunbed mattresses, of a sunbed, and this pillow here. I don't know how well it's going to show, which was one of those sunbed kind of a recliner or sunbed pillow, and a picnic blanket with a rubber back. It's actually plastic, so a blanket on one side and plastic sheet kind of on the back, but thin and with holes in. So that was, I had 2 of those, and those were the basis of my bed this time last year. up until probably mid-November when I found my first tarp that had been thrown out by a builder. It's a tarpaulin, a 3 metre by 2 metre thick plastic sheet, but with a couple of, well, with a lot of little holes, imagine a sheet that's had darts thrown in it. It had lots of little holes, but no big rips or anything. It was good in places. And I'd build a bed each night. I would roll out this sunbed mattress and the pillow, the 2 plastic picnic blankets, and eventually in November this tarpaulin, this 3 metres by 2 metre sheet that would go under the bed, up and over and back down the other side, and I'd have to force Tina to get in and cuddle at night, which she never really wanted to do, but it was the only way to keep us both dry. Because if you get a clear night here, it's kind of paradoxical this. If you look up at the sky at night and it's clear, it's going to be wet. The condensation, the damp, the dew. If it's a cloudy night, it'll be dry. But most nights are kind of clear-ish, unless you're expecting rain. So that was last year. Everything was always... We'd wake up every morning and have to go and dry off the top couple of layers from the bed. Which is where I met a lady called Tina and a lady called Anita, Anita's in the chat now. I already knew Anita from before, but I re-met her. I met her again while drying off my bedding, sitting kind of 500 meters that way on some chairs on the top of some cliffs. This year, we've got a roof over our head. Okay, the actual tent's got a split running 3 or 4 meters that way, but we've got a plastic sheet over the top of that, so we're not too bad. And we've got offers of I've got other tarpaulins here, other big plastic sheets, and I've got offers of even more big plastic sheets. Now my actual plan is to sort out the court case, present my defence, be found not guilty, hopefully get help from a lawyer and get access to my money, and in time, it'll need a bit of planning, it'll need time, but in time, bugger off home. Maybe by January or February of next year. That's the idea. The court case they're trying to bring against me, apparently according to the paperwork that I looked at the other day, there's 2 charges that each carry up to 12 months of imprisonment. Absolute total and utter. But the Spanish police, they go hands-on at the drop of a hat. They make up their statements are a fairy tale. Now what I don't know is how well me saying that to a judge will be received. I got no idea. But I'm going to say it anyway because it's the right thing to do. I'm not going to back down just because they say, hey, don't say that, or hey, the judge and the prosecutor are probably good pals. I've said this before. They work day in, day... The prosecutor actually wears a police uniform. In most countries, prosecution and police are separate. Here, he works in the bloody police station and wears a police uniform. He then goes into court and he works day in, day out with the same 3 or 4 judges. They probably go for, Christmas dinner and whatever together. Maybe a couple of times through the year, meet up and go to events and stuff together. I'm fairly sure that when I do finally find out who my lawyer is, there's another question. The court aren't allowed to tell me who my lawyer is. Yeah, what about that? What about that? I was arrested because there was a warrant for my arrest because I missed a court date that I was never informed about. And while I'm there, I'm saying, well, you've appointed me a lawyer, yeah? And they say, yeah. Then they tell me that I've been given a yellow sheet previously with his name and contact details. And when I say, I've never seen a yellow sheet, they say, yes, you have. And I said, prove it. Show me some signature that says, hey, here's proof you're accepting receipt of these details. They went away, spent 5 minutes looking, came back and said, no, it doesn't work that way. Go away. I said, no. Who is my lawyer? How can I I'm getting angry. I'm gonna change the topic a little bit. I thought my court case was this week. When I was there last, they told me October the 4th. When it came to it, it's not just frustrating, it's it is frustrating, but it's more than that. But when it came to October the 4th, I wasn't ready. I didn't have anyone to look after my dog. I wasn't prepared. I'd not found my solicitor. I've typed up my version of what I think happened that day. I've typed up some lines of questioning that I think should show, you know, that should give a lawyer a way forward to present a defense and to pick apart the prosecution's case. But I don't know who my lawyer is. And the court refused to tell me who my lawyer is. So when it came to the day, I sat here shitting myself, thinking they're going to come and get me. They're going to come and get me. I'm non-attending my court case. They're going to come and get me. And eventually, and this is me. This is a character. I mentioned this, I think, last week in the Sunday. What do we want to call it? The Tramp cast, the Sunday broadcast, Tramp cast 4. It's a character flaw of mine that I put things off to the last minute. So here I was literally all day long sweating bricks and thinking I'm going to be in trouble for not going to court, because that's the date they told me. And when I finally look at the paperwork, the next day when I look at the paperwork, October 30th. Now, what kind of error in translation took them from October 30th to telling me October 4th? I can't begin to hypothesize. I've got no... That doesn't sound like an error in translation. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. But it means I breathe a sigh of relief. I've now got nearly 4 weeks to actually find my lawyer. Now I've got a few fragments of a name and in my head that I can try on Google with some variations. And frankly, if I don't piece it together, I'll walk into that courtroom on that morning and demand a deferral of the case, what's a better word than deferral? Adjournment of the case. If I've been appointed a lawyer but no one tells me who the fucking lawyer is, how do I defend myself? No court can accept that as a surely no court could accept that as a thing. No, the people in the court, the administration in the court, categorically said they're not allowed to tell me. They tell me that when I was arrested, I was given a yellow sheet of paper and that had his details on. And when I was rearrested recently, because I missed a court date way back, I missed a court date that I was literally never told about. And so when a policeman came here one day and said, who are you, why are you living here, and demanded my ID, he demanded paperwork, and I didn't have any. My passport is, I have a passport, it's here, but it would be classed as ruined. It would be classed, it's been flooded twice. It's been literally soaked wet with floodwater twice. It wouldn't be acceptable to leave the country. The authorities would view it as suspicious that it looks like it's been tampered with because of the water damage. So when the police ask for ID, I tell them I don't have any. And they've always left me alone. Like half a dozen times they've been here, asked for ID, and I've said I haven't got any, and they've just gone away. Threatened me with violence, but gone away and said they'll come back the next day, and I told them I'll see them here next day. You wouldn't believe how hands-on the Spanish police are and how often they threaten you with violence. Literally, what, 2/3 of the times they've been here to this camp, they've said something like, by tomorrow you be gone, or else you'll have a problem with me. Like that. Now you might think that's just good cop, bad cop, but it's not. The guys, they're looking to go hands-on. They want to go hands-on. So when I was initially arrested, I was arrested for something and nothing. Not being charged with whatever that thing was. Not being charged with whatever I was arrested for, but I've been charged with resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. He says I smacked him so hard in the chest that I bruised his chest through his body armour. Let's just think about that. I was a fat old man at the time. I was about 50, 51, 52, whatever age I was at the time. I was 100 and something kilograms. I was overweight. I weighed maybe 50% more than I do now. Now I think I'm somewhere between 60 and 70 kilos. I was over 100 then. So I'm old, I'm fat, unarmed, and somewhat intoxicated. Faced with two policemen. And they've got guns, like real actual firearms. They've got tasers. They've got batons. They've got mace or CEST spray, whatever it is that they carry. And so I'm facing guys in, I don't know if it's a bulletproof vest or a stab vest, but it's a vest of some, a protective vest. So it's me against two guys. And apparently I've attacked him and injured him. Because, I'm a mega man who's capable of punching so hard through a stab vest or a bulletproof vest that I've bruised his chest. Which is interesting because 5 seconds after he first got in front of me, I'm on the floor face down with him kneeling on my back and putting cuffs on. Literally 5 seconds after they first got in front of me, I'm on the ground. I wasn't given a chance to explain what was going on. I wasn't asked what was going on. The guy approached me, waves cuffs in my face, and when I say, whoa, that's not necessary, he's got his baton up and he gives it two shakes above my head. And when I say, whoa, you're joking, and by now he's already hit me twice on the arm, twice on the leg, and now his mate swoops in from behind and puts me on the ground. I kid you not, less than 25 seconds after they got out of their car, I'm on the ground, face down, kind of hogtied, and it took them 15 seconds just to walk over to me. Spanish police. If ever you want a bit of fun, have a look online for Alicante police COVID alcohol. Something like that. What happened was, during COVID, in the early days, Alicante, the whole region, not just the city, but where we are now in Torrevieja, Alicante police tried to draw up a list of what you're allowed to buy and not buy. And if they checked your shopping and you'd bought alcohol, they beat you up with their batons. Get that? They beat you up with their batons because alcohol was not like an essential item on their list. There are videos online of this, or there were videos online of this happening. I've said this before. You're not allowed to video police in Spain. If you see a policeman do something wrong and you post that video online, they will prosecute you, but not the policeman who did something wrong. They will use more detective power to track you down for being the one who posted it, like looking at the angles from your apartment to where whatever happened. They will use more police resources tracking you down than they will in punishing that policeman who did wrong. They just don't punish them. They just give them so much latitude. And it's well documented about how easily they'll go hands on. But anyway, guys, that's basically my court case. We can look at why the police were called in the first place. I mean, that's just stepping back a bit from that. You've probably heard this already if you've been here before. If you haven't been here before, I'm Delta Mike, not my real name. That's the NATO phonetic alphabet, DM, Delta Mike. Them's my initials in real life, but Delta Mike. I go by Mike on YouTube. I'm Delta Mike. I'm down and out in Torrevieja, where down and out means living rough, being homeless, being destitute. Bye, Anita. See you soon. You're okay. Let me just. That went past. I was talking to Anita, so. Charlie Sparkles. Your first name's Mike. Or Delta. I guess Mike. Where was it? Hey, the 6 of you. Oh, okay, I was just about to say the 6 of you here and there's only 5 thumbs up. Okay, now there's 7 of you here. Come on, hit the thumbs up. You got to do it. I'm down and out. I'm a bloody tramp living in a foreign country. I need help. Hit the thumbs up. Let Google know that, or YouTube, well, YouTube stroke Google, let them know that I'm entertaining you on a Friday night. First time. Okay. Well, I hope you subscribe and what? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, on Charlie Sparkles. What? Why did you click? Why are you listening to a tramp? I ask this of everybody. Nobody can answer. Let me reach for my beer. I'm about to finish it, I think. But never fear. Somewhere down here, I got some more in reserve. Just pardon me for a second, folks. Let me try and... I just need my hand for a second. If you watch my cookery videos, you'll know that I often need to put the camera down. Thank you to my friend Jan. I don't know if he's still here or not. But he sent me a few euros a couple of weeks ago and said, get yourself some beer. That's the only reason. If people send me money and specify what it's for, then I try and spend it on what they specify. Always appreciate just random money sent via PayPal just for support. That's great. Or cash in hand and people hereabouts who want to help. But if someone gives me money and says it's for X, I try and spend it on X. Oh, these glasses. Sorry, guys. I'm struggling with the one-armed set of specs. If you haven't hit the like button, I'd appreciate it if you would. I'm trying to get to 10. You might all have done it already, I don't know. But Okay, that's nice. Me too. I've always been sympathetic. I used to work in London, and whenever I walked past anybody, I'd throw them a quid or two, whatever change I had. Never anything too substantial, to be fair. But then I was young, and didn't have didn't have too much didn't have too much money at the time. I was a security guard in London in God, what year? 89 and 90. Back when there was tube, bus, surface train, ambulance, and I think fire brigade all went on strike, I think all at the same time, if I remember right. It was quite a time to be there. And I was doing it was a high paid job for someone in the area that I lived in, back in Lancaster. It would have been classed as a high paying job. But for London, it was low paying. So we were there about 2 hours before everybody else, and we were still there 2 hours after everyone went home. So we were doing 12-hour shifts compared to their 8 hours. But at some points, I had an hour and a half travel each end of the day. An hour and a half to get to work and an hour and a half to get home afterwards. And when we had those damn strikes, God, there was one day it took me, I think, 5 hours to walk home. I had no idea where I was going. I tried to walk home following the bus route, and I got it wrong and just... God, no. Trying to walk from Chelsea Harbour to Morden. Yeah, that didn't go well. That didn't go well at all. I think it was Morden at that point. I lived in Tooting Beck. No, I didn't. I lived in Tooting later on. But no, I think it was Morden I was trying to get home to at that point. Anyway, that's all by the by. That's all by the by. So yeah, I had fears earlier this week. The first half of the week, I was in total dread that I'd literally missed this court case. Okay, yeah, Steve's in the house. Hey mate, whoa. Have you just arrived, or? I don't think I missed you earlier. I don't think... Yeah, we've been stuck on 249 subscribers for a couple of days now. I was hopeful we were going to get through the... Sorry, no, hold on. 274. What did I say? Did I say 249? No, we were stuck on 249 for quite a while a couple of weeks ago, and then it suddenly shot up through 260 and through 270. We're on 274 the last I checked. And where I am now in the YouTube app, I can't get out and have a look. But anyone out there that hasn't hit the like button, please do. Napoleonic laws. Yeah, okay, you're still here, Jan. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, Spain is kind of a young documentary. That's not the right word, is it? What's the word I'm looking for, guys? Democracy. Fuck. Where'd I get documentary from? Spain is a young democracy, comparatively. Somewhere, I remember as a kid watching John Craven's Newsround, and they'd only just become a democracy again, and somebody invaded the parliament, firing a gun and trying to take over the government, an attempted coup. Fairly sure it was John Craven's Newsround I was watching. I can't remember what else it would. I can't think what else it would have been. Late 70s, early 80s, maybe 81, 80. I don't know. But yeah, they haven't got everything dialed in yet. 81, okay, yeah, sounds about right. The blow of state, is that what it's called? The blow from state, off state, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember that. And I know that King Juan Carlos had only just kind of come back. They'd only just re-established the monarchy and a democracy. Um, no one's gonna criticize you for being 5 days off. I couldn't remember within 5 years a minute ago, mate. Where's my beer? It's Friday night, guys. Depending on where you are, I might be ahead of you or what, but it's, what is it, somewhere around 10 o'clock? I don't know. Give me a second, I'll tell you. Let me prop you up there and just hit 21:39. 20 to 10 where I am. If you're in the UK, I'm 1 hour ahead of you. If you're elsewhere, you'll have to work it out yourself. But yeah. Oh. What, the date was the title? Or the blow of state thing, the golpe de estado? Shall we have a look in on Tina? Let me point you this way. And turn the light that way. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Say hello to the people, Tina. Look at this. Half my bed gets taken up by... And she likes to lie sideways most of the time. She'll lie... At the minute, she's lying kind of diagonally a little bit. But in the night, she'll lie across the bed. Lie or lay. She will lay across the bed. Oh, there I am. I wish I could look as good as the picture that I use in the when I do the thumbnails. I took a picture of myself and I fed it into okay, military coup. Yeah, okay, that's a good enough term. I took a picture of myself and I fed it into an AI app and I said, "Hey, make him handsome." And the guy you see with the dark moustache and the dark comes up like that, and the hair is slightly dark. It looks like me, but the hair's darker. No glasses, but he's got my eyebrows and but a little bit thicker and darker. That guy. Maybe when Karen comes back, Karen, the lady that cut my hair, maybe when she comes back, I'll ask her, can I get some hair dye and just dye the moustache and a line coming up on either side. Maybe I can make myself look more like that guy. Because to my untrained eye, he's quite handsome. Now I'm not a big judge of whether men are handsome or not. I'm not of that persuasion. But you can tell when you're looking at someone who's good looking or not, can't you? Without being the other way. I think you can anyway. I could always tell that Rock Hudson was a good looking bloke and Cary Grant, always suspected, but nothing against them. Just I could do with looking as good looking as the guy in the picture that I generate. Maybe I could do that before the court date. But a hair dye on the eyebrows and the moustache and a bit of a wisp coming up. And maybe a little bit darker on the hair, but still with a bit of grey on the side. Maybe I'll ask Karen. Maybe I could look like the guy in the picture. What do you think? Would I need to put my teeth in? Does a guy with no teeth? Maybe that's a weakness when it comes to a court case. I don't know. What do I know? I'm a fucking tramp. Hey babe, relax. It's just a guy coming past. Cars nowadays. You know when you were a kid and you watched Logan's Run, the TV series, and the cars drove past making that electronic noise? A bit like milk floats, but not as slow. If you remember 1970s, 1980s milk floats. Imagine a milk float, but kind of 5 times faster. That's what cars sound like nowadays. They've got that... Oh, these glasses. I'm going to take them off. I'll put them on when something pops up on screen that I need to read. If nothing's popping on screen... Oh, look at this, look. Now I'm hitting the buttons and nothing's happening. Have I seen that one? Yeah. So if you're not sure, Charlie Sparkle's there. If you're not sure what an English term is, then you're not English, no? Where are you from? In fact, everyone who's here now. Just a quick message in the chat. What's your nationality? And where are you? How many of you are actually in Torrevieja at the minute, or are you back home in swoosh? Did something go over my head? Did I get something wrong? You got me worried there. That swoosh makes me think I've missed something. Come on, I'm fairly intelligent normally. Now you got me worried. What have I done? Did I miss something? Just scrolling back. Okay, Steve, you've been watching, but you popped elsewhere just to plug the channel. Thank you very much, my friend. Always appreciated. Now, the rest of you guys, if you think my content is worth watching, English mostly, but grew up in Spain. Okay. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here, and welcome aboard, if you are aboard. Yeah, I think you said before that you're subscribed. Yeah, I think I saw that. I could be imagining it. But I'm starting to recognise names now. But you got to understand a little bit. YouTube, everybody has 2 names. You have the presentable name, and behind it you have the @ name, the shorter. So I'm Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja. That's my full name on YouTube. But I'm also at DeltaMikeTorrevieja. And most of the apps that I use, so the main app, when I get a comment, so in the YouTube app and in the YouTube Studio app, which is for creators, for people who have channels, I'm mainly seeing that shorter, that @ name. So sometimes tying together, I can talk to someone and be kind of best friends with them on their @ name and not even realize they've got the other name. It's a little bit disconcerting. It's a little bit tricky, because they made a change a little while ago where all of this, like when I get emails saying, hey, someone has responded, hey, someone has subscribed, I see the @ address, not the presentable kind of real world, the more readable address or name. It's all a bit tricky, folks. It's all a bit tricky being a YouTuber. And it's hindered because I'm just a fucking tramp. Living in a field, in a country where I don't speak the language. Just to clarify, I read the language pretty well. My problem with speaking it is that I can't hear it. When they speak, Pink Carly. The other YouTube channel, that was the Matheron, Sean's channel, I assume. Oh, unless it was the one that Steve just mentioned elsewhere. I don't know where Steve went for that one. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm just blathering away. Having a drink on a Friday night. Pretty much just waiting for Friday Night Tights to start, which is my favourite programme of the week. Let me just... We're on 10 to 10. I've got until 10:30. I got another 40 minutes maximum, probably. For me, it's not just their accent. It's men in particular. They just have this deep, gravelly. I can't hear the individual words. Whether that's my failing hearing, whether it's just the way they speak. Some of them, they're not even speaking Spanish, Castellano. You know, the Valencia, they've got their own language when they want. And some of the old blokes, when they're sitting playing their gambling games, when they're sitting playing kind of dominoes and whatever else, there's just a... And I'm just... I can't even pick out individual words. I can't hear. And if you say kind of "más despacio," you know, por favor, or otra vez, again, you know, nothing. They look at you like you're some kind of idiot. I mean, I remember early on, I was having a really friendly conversation with this older man and woman. We'd been talking nicely for about an hour, just pleasantries. They were there with their grandkids, and I said, "Oh, your grandma and granddad." Oh, okay, yeah, okay, and just something and nothing. And then they said something, and I said, "Oh, my Spanish isn't very good. You know, mi español no es muy bien." And they went, "No es español." And the man just got angry with me out of nowhere. He wanted to fight out of nowhere. We've been talking nicely for an hour, and suddenly this man is just, "That's not Spanish." And it turns out he's from Barcelona, Catalonia, and he wants to make this distinction between Castellano not being Spanish. Oh, okay, I know the channel. Yeah, they're quite a big one around here. Yeah. You're my Oh, I think I got a rodent somewhere nearby. You carry on. I'm sending Tina out. Okay, folks. Sorry. Interrupted by rodentia. Yeah, the whole, yeah. Spanish is not Spanish. Castellano no es español. Yeah. They, it's you know. It's awkward. It's really awkward when you've been talking to someone nicely for an hour about them and their grandkids and about what the kids' parents do and, you know, about where the kids' parents are. You've just been sat there at the next table in a bar, all friendly for an hour, hour and a half, and suddenly the man wants a fight just because you said, "Sorry, I don't understand, my Spanish isn't very good." That's not Spanish! It is. The Spanish government say it is. Don't blame me. Yeah. When you're struggling with a language and you hit these little hiccups, it doesn't have to knock your confidence. I remember. Oh, what? So when I first came out here, I came out here on a 13-day rental. I had 13 days in an apartment. So 1 day less than 2 weeks. By which time I had to find somewhere else to live. And the guy who rented me the apartment, found me another apartment at the end of the 13 days. And it was above a bar. Now the bar was called Salona. It was on where the old market was in the centre of town. There's a few blocks where the roads became the market on a Friday morning. And if you ever look at a map that had that brown square shaded on the map, just below the bottom right hand corner, there's a bar called Salona. You get the pun? Barcelona. You see what he did? He had to ring for a taxi and say, "Hey, I want a taxi to Barcelona." He thought he was clever. Well, that was kind of more or less downstairs from me. And I went down there a few times, and I'm new in the country. I've been here kind of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm saying, I've had a couple of drinks, and I'm again, otra más, por favor. And I kind of tried saying same again, el mismo otra vez. They were lost. They were lost. If you weren't saying una más, if you weren't just saying exactly and here's the thing, I thought it was me getting my Spanish wrong. Yeah? Because you would, wouldn't you? You're trying to learn a new language, you're in a new country, you're trying to say it right, you say something and they don't understand you, I must have it wrong. No. His staff were all, I can't remember, Norwegian or Swedish or one of the Scandinavian countries anyway. And they'd only learn a limited vocabulary. You have to say una más, una más, una más. If you don't say una más, you don't just get the same again. If you go with any variation, however colourful, otra vez, another time. Again, it's just another way of saying the same thing. But they were just lost. So I had all these little things undermine my confidence early on. And I'm an introvert anyway. Here's another thing. Oh, how much should I say? Oh, I'm looking for a way to hold the camera that's... Oh, this hand's gone to sleep. What to say? You've probably gathered, if you've seen me a couple of times, you've probably gathered I like a beer. I like a drink. Tramps and winos. Yeah? Not quite. But I understand the association. And you have no reason to believe me. You can carry on whatever thoughts you might have thought of. I like a beer, always have. But also, I'm an introvert. So the idea of speaking to the camera, speaking out to the world, and there's been between 4 and 10 of you on, I think. Those are the peaks of them. Well, I think it's been down as low as 2 after the initial 5 or 10 minutes. But it's been as high as 8, 9, 10. I didn't watch carefully. Incidentally, if you're here and you haven't hit the thumbs up, do me a favour. I'm trying to get to 10. just to let YouTube know that I'm not a total loser. But going back to alcohol, I'm an introvert, which means my entire adult life, I kind of have used alcohol as a, what would you say, social lubricant? Is that a, I guess that, can I sit here like this trying to straighten the glasses? I think social lubricant, I think that's a phrase that would, oh, you actually need me to have the hand here, otherwise the volume drops, doesn't it? But as a social lubricant, I've always been quiet and shy. Okay, no one's talking. Why am I even bothering? There's no chat. Oh. Can you see this eye? Yeah. I've always had a wandering eye, but not in that way. Not for the ladies. I was married for 20 years? There or thereabouts. Technically still am. Oh, look, now there's a message. Where did I just put them? Yeah. Oh, it's gone. Social lubricant. What happened to my glasses? Okay. So, when I get into bed, I play YouTube videos. And I play them kind of more or less on and off all night. I'll set a video going. My phone's set to not just show the next video. It doesn't. I have to manually say, you know, play something else, play something else. So if I fall asleep, it stops after 10, 15 minutes. But I keep the glasses on, and I've been sleeping in them. And I sleep on my side. And something about that is just the arm in, left and right. It's pulled the screw out. It hasn't broken. The loop, oh, you are not going to be able to see that. No. The loop is there and it's fine. And the arm, I was just looking for, I must have knocked it off my little bedside cabinet here, my bedside table. But basically, the screws, every time you open it, the screw's been undoing a little bit, and it's just come undone. I spent a couple of hours yesterday and today trying to screw it back in. But without my glasses, I can't see well enough to make the screw go back through properly. And I think my screwdriver might be a little bit too big. I might have to go up to the Chino Bazaar here and buy a jeweler's screwdriver set. But even then, I'll have to find my reserve glasses. The lady who gave me these, Anita, that was in the chat earlier, she gave me 2 pairs. Well, she actually gave me about 4 at the time, but I turned her down. I thought taking more than 2 was greedy. Because these aren't just your pound shop or your Chino Bazaar. You know, you go into some Chino Bazaars and they've got them there €1 or €2 on the rack. Or in the pharmacy, some of the cheap pharmacies have them just on the rack. €1, €2, €3. Just put them on and read from a little list. Check your eyesight. These are actual proper good glasses that she gave me. Almost a year ago. This is on the 11th of November. No. Oh, yeah, no. So it's more than a year ago. The 10th of October is when I moved to this site. And it flooded that day. And then it flooded 1 month later. The night of the 10th and into the 11th. So no, it's only 11 months ago she gave me these glasses. But she bought me the phone in about... Anita and a lady called Tina together bought me the phone in March or April of this year, bringing me back into the real world. I'd spent, Oh, I can't begin to tell you. Last November, December, January, February. No light. No watch. No phone. Nothing electronic at all. I had nothing. The only things I had to read is if I walked around from bin to bin and if someone was throwing books away or magazines or a newspaper. And I would cherish those. But without a light, I could only read them through the day. And in winter, the days are short. It gets dark about 6 o'clock, somewhere between 6 and 6:30 in midwinter. And it doesn't get light again until, what, 7? 7:30? 8? And I didn't have a roof over my head either. I can't begin to tell you guys how I didn't even know what time of day it was. I got good at judging through the day by where the sun was. I could look at the sun, and then we could walk to the pharmacy, and the clock's outside the pharmacy, and I could be within 15 minutes or 30 minutes of the right time. But that's what I was having to do. No radio. So no phone, no internet, just none of that. Family back home didn't even know whether I was alive or not. Now they know I'm alive and they're not talking to me for other reasons, but that's a whole other pile of shit. But they didn't know I was alive or not. I didn't know whether I was alive or not. I almost wasn't. I've said this before about how a clock saved my life. One day I found a clock in a bin. I found a clock. No battery. But it turned out I had a couple of batteries laying around here. They'd been in floods. They weren't in the best condition. They were rusted. They were bad. They were AAA, so they were the smaller ones. And the clock wanted bigger ones. But I put a battery and 3 1 cent coins jammed in the slot and made it kind of sort of almost work. And now I knew what time it was. And a couple of weeks later I found 3 little solar powered lights. The tiny little 2 inches, 5 centimeters across. Little solar panel with a AAA battery inside and a little LED light bulb. Sit them outside all day long and they would charge. And as soon as it got dark, there's no on-off switch, they were just on. There was no choice. They would just burn through the battery power. But 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, sat on my chest and a book here, and I could read with the 3. They were only a little glow, not as bright, nothing like this, nothing like that. But 3 of them on my chest, or sometimes just 2, depending, because you get a bad connection or a little bit of rust inside, or one of them didn't get enough sunlight through the day. But those lights and that clock, the clock especially, sometimes I would actually sit one of those lights under the clock, so when I woke up in the night, and this is before I had any kind of cover, before I had any kind of tent or tarpaulin, before I had any kind of cover at all, I was outside, sit one of these lights under the clock shining up at it, and wake up in the night and look, oh, it's only 11:30. I fell asleep at 7:30 or 8. It's not that late. Imagine not knowing what time it is. It's gone dark at 6 o'clock, 6:30. And you've been tired from the night before. Maybe you've had rats or mice or something milling about that night before, keeping you awake all bloody night while you chase little buggers away. So the next night you're tired, and you fall asleep as soon as it goes dark, and you wake up, and you don't know if it's 6:30 in the morning, 4:30? 2:30? Midnight? Might only be 9 o'clock. What the fuck? You feel like you've had a whole night's sleep. This happens so often you wouldn't believe. You wake up feeling like you've had a full night's sleep, and it's 9:30. Or thinking back, this is what you assume it must be, because you didn't know. But then you fall asleep again, and again, and then you wake up, and you wake up, you fall asleep, you wake up, you fall asleep, you wake up, and you're just, come on, it's got to be morning soon. And you're listening to the traffic on the road, and you wake up and you think, oh, there's traffic. It must be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. But these are people going home from the nightclub. It's still only 2 o'clock. But you don't know that yet. You haven't got a clock. You haven't got anything to go by. Then it gets quiet on the road later. Oh, man. Oh, you've no idea. You've no idea. I can tell you officially, a clock saved my life. I was going spare. I was going doolally. Through the day I was fine. But as soon as it got to 6 o'clock, November, December, January, February, man, you've no idea. I was going, well, I was going. Let's leave it there. Yeah. It wasn't my best time. It was not my best. Look, no one's talking. I don't need those. It wasn't my best time. I struggled emotionally, mentally. I don't do mental illness. I don't allow it. My mum struggled all her life. She had her demons. And I know these things can be familial. I know these things can be hereditary. I haven't got room for that shit. I haven't got space for that. I haven't got... I'm weak. I don't have the mental capacity for that shit. I'm not even going to put up with that shit. Tomorrow's a new day. You're quite right, my friend. Tomorrow is a new day. We move onwards. Hopefully upwards. In a lot of the abouts, when it comes to these videos, I've got the down and out in Torrevieja, but I've also got down but not out in a lot of the verbiage and a lot of the, like, the metadata. Down and out as one phrase, and down but not out in another. And there's a friend of mine, well, a new friend of mine, got a YouTube channel over in America. And I'm going to mess up his... I'll put it in the description afterwards. Patrick something's Thunder. Patrick Crow's Thunder. Sorry, Patrick. I did know it. I did. Honest, mate. He's... I'm not going to say a wellness guru. That would be misconstruing his angle, his thing. But he's about how people have gone wrong and how we're doing it wrong in the modern era. How we need to get back to a more basic, a more fundamental level of humanity, a more basic approach to life. So he's made a big thing about, obviously he's a YouTuber, he's not giving up screen time and computers altogether, but he wants him and his family to be operating at below 50% of what the current average is for Americans as a whole. I think Americans. So he looks at what the average is and he says, hey, him and his family are going to do half that and stick to that. And that's despite being a YouTuber. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit political, but yeah, I mean, I'm not... so the British, when it comes to the EEC stroke EU, I'll give you the British general synopsis is that we left, not because we don't like it, not because we're against it, but because something wasn't right. We wanted to see change. Change in the way it's run. Change in the way it is responsive to the people. There's a growing sense that all of our governments out there are being manipulated or exploited by big business. What once upon a time would have been considered corruption is now just called lobbying and accepted as allowable. Imagine there's an election coming up. Two people are going to stand. And imagine they need some kind of funding. So you pick your side. You can fund one side or you can fund the other. Well, most big businesses will just fund both. And then whoever wins, they get to say, oh, but we funded you. You know what we're looking for. You know what our position is. That can't be right. I mean, from my point of view, I say don't accept any funding. You stand for an election, you get funded by the central body that conducts elections. We have an electoral, I don't know what they call it, but it's not electoral reform society, but there's a central body that monitors such things. They should have an amount of money, and everyone who's standing should get X number of £1,000, euros, whatever country you're in. There should be some central body, and if you've been accepted as a candidate, you get X number of thousands of whatever to stand, and that's your funding. And outside funding either shouldn't be allowed or should be documented. And any company or individual that funds one side should be disbarred from funding the other side. My personal preference is that there is no outside funding. But if you're going to allow funding, then they pick a side. And then they win or they lose with the rest of us. If you're a multi-billion-dollar company and can afford to give 100 grand to every candidate in an election, let's say in Britain, 650 MPs. And so there's about 2,000 people standing at any election to be a candidate or the serious candidates. That company shouldn't be allowed to fund all 2,000 individuals. And then whoever wins, all 650 MPs are in the pocket of that company. What the fuck is that? That's just corruption. There's no other word for that. If you're going to allow outside funding, in each constituency, they pick their candidate. They can fund one and only one. And they win or they lose. I'm not bothered which party it is. I'm not going to specify that. But why can they, in any constituency, how can you allow a company to fund all three candidates? And then whoever wins is in the pocket of that company. That's just bogus. I wouldn't allow that. That's just corruption. Then Greeks need to get on with Grexit, if that's what they're going to do. If they're going to do a Greek exit, they need to get on with it. Maybe then the Brits and the Greeks can form some sort of new alliance and begin again. I don't know. Then again, do the Brits want to... The Greeks have this... the unbelievable situation that they're very corrupt, aren't they? They have a swimming pool tax, and a whole helicopter flies over and can see every house that's got a swimming pool, and they're supposed to go to their local post office and pay their swimming pool tax. But if you walk into your local post office with your money in your hand and you say, here's my 100 euros because I've got a swimming pool, the woman behind the counter goes, no, go away, go away, go away. Because if you pay yours, everyone else has to pay theirs. That's not right. You know? Whatever the rules are, you should abide by the rules-ish. If you disagree with the rules, by all means, protest against them, campaign against them, do whatever. But if you've decided you're going to obey the rules, and you go to the local government shop or office where you're supposed to do the thing, the woman behind the counter shouldn't be the one telling you to go away and not do it, because it makes it worse for everyone else. That's just... Isn't it? Wasn't it? Didn't it? That's just wrong. So, you know, if the Greeks actually got on and did a Grexit, I'm still not sure that they could have an alliance with the Brits, just because whilst we're not quite on the German level of following the rules, we do have a sense that, hey, there are rules. You know? The government office where you're supposed to transact your government-type business shouldn't be the one telling you not to do your government-type business. That's just weird. That's just weird. I don't know, guys. I mean, that's... that is just special. Oh! Okay, folks. Where are we? There's only 3 of you out there. We'll probably call it a day soon in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Unless we get a bunch of other people in. If any of you haven't... Oh, I've got a noise. Just give me a second. Go away! Ah. Sorry, folks. I don't think they're in the tent, but they're not far away. There's something nosing around close by the tent. Most of my stuff is inside plastic boxes. Except I've just been shopping today, and potatoes, carrots, onions and capsicums, peppers are just in a carrier bag, just in a shopping bag out there. But I don't think those would be high value targets for our rodent neighbours. They would prefer like bags of sugar and the bags of powdered milk and flour. But most things like that are in glass jars or plastic jars in the case of sugar. My coffee making stuff is all just outside in I think glass and plastic jars. I got a whole bag full of plastic jars that I washed out. Oh, I got a... Sorry folks, my hand's cramping up. Let me know if I'm too quiet. I'll try and speak up because my hand isn't next to the microphone anymore. But last... what? I think from February till May, I was pestered by rodents. And I mean laying in bed at night and having them run across the top of my bed while I'm in it. And running this way and along my bedside table, knocking drinks over and things. At one point, I think I've told this story before. Do you see my carton of wine, Vino Tinto? plastic, cardboard. It's a cardboard box of red wine, so I call it cardboard, like Bordeaux, but you know, cardboard. I went to tip it up one night. I went to pour it into my glass and missed. And I was like, I thought maybe I was drunk or something. I like aligning the glass and the carton. And so I tried a second time with it on the lip of the glass, and I still missed. And what happened was, if you see the edge here, the corner, the little buggers had wondered what was inside the cardboard, and they'd bitten this corner. So as I tipped the spout into the glass, the other corner missed the glass and just poured the wine on the fucking floor. I have a begrudging respect for my rodent foes. I mean, I literally do. Very intelligent. Annoyingly so. The mice are cute as well. I mean, you look at them and you don't want to wish them any harm. You literally don't want any harm to come to them. They're cute. You don't want to kill that. That's why a few weeks ago I surprised myself when I literally stomped on a little mouse. Killed it myself. Manually. Well, pedally with my feet. I'm not going to forget my program, my friend. I am going to go any moment now. Where are we? 22, 26. It's notorious for being late. Is Friday Night Tights. If any of you want to check it out, Nerdrotic, N-E-R-D, and then rotic, like erotic without the E. So Nerdrotic, Friday Night Tights. Fantastic program. They discuss pop culture, latest films, TV series, computer games, occasionally music, that kind of stuff. But it's kind of 8 or 10 people just chatting the shit. A bit like I've been doing here, but with friends. But yeah, I've gone on actually. I was surprised I've gone on for more than an hour. I'm surprised that I got more than a couple of you here. I said initially that I was looking for 10 people, but you know, that was me being optimistic. But okay, guys. I think we're going to draw a line there. I'm going to have to go and have a pee. I'm going to have to go and run around the tent and make sure there's no rodents encroaching too closely. I got to cuddle my girl here. And then it's Friday Night Tights. Any final questions or statements? Thumbs up to you guys as well. Anyone here who hasn't hit the thumbs up, please do. I was hoping to get to 10. I'm falling a little bit short. Catch you another time, Charlie Sparkles. And the rest of you. Okay, folks, there's always an awkward moment. When I hit this X, it doesn't stop straight away. There's always a little bit of a delay. So I'll hit it and I'll say awkward moment and probably get cut off halfway through. Cheers, Steve, and thank you for trying to get us some more followers. I got no idea whether you've been successful or not. I won't know until after I get out of here. Okay, folks. As somebody once said, Delta Mike, out. Awkward moment.